gentlemen, set to make his way to the cage, presenting ELSEY.
ELSEY from the Tsunami Gym, 24 years of age and very experienced. 6 wins, 5 losses. And he said that for this, he's been working on composure in the cage. Now, we've been talking about this earlier and how important that is in the cage when you're there fighting. And he says that he's intelligent and adaptive as a fighter.
And he's a 10-fight veteran as well, which I think is going to be important. I love this matchup in so many ways. And as we see him make the walk, you saw McGuire there. John McGuire, one of the all-time old-school MMA greats in the UK. Behind him at the Tsunami Gym, I think that speaks volumes. He said, look, I've been super adaptable, I'm intelligent, I'm ready to test myself, I'm ready to go out there and show the evolution that I have through diversification of my skills.
Now, on his way to the cage, presenting Jack TYLEY.
Jack TYLEY is his opponent from 10th Planet. 28 years of age, 2-1. Started out in jiu-jitsu, Chris, but we were talking actually even before the show started, and you were talking about 10th Planet. You were saying, hey, watch these guys. They're really something to watch now.
Yeah, I mentioned the Tsunami Gym in the walkout, and then I got to talk about the 10th Planet Gym. You saw the governor, Jamie Scott, there in the corner. I love these guys. They're killers on the mat, and they bring so many different skills as well. So for me, you're going to be dealing with all the different tricks that ELSEY has, and he's a super intelligent guy in MMA, versus the submission pedigree of Jack TYLEY. TYLEY kind of went in there under the radars, gone 2-1 in MMA. He's got a budding career, but it's the jiu-jitsu. That's where he makes his money. He's a vicious choke specialist. I cannot wait for this.
The following contest is brought to you in association with Scramble and Farabi Fight Gear. Now, Rise of Champions is set for 3 3-minute rounds in the amateur welterweight division. We introduce first the blue corner. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighed in officially at 171 pounds even. Holding an amateur record of 6 wins against 4 defeats, fighting out of Tsunami Gym, presenting ELSEY. And across the cage, he stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in officially at 168 pounds even. As an amateur, he is 2-1. He fights out of 10th Planet, presenting Jack TYLEY. When the action begins, your referee in charge, Sam Amidi.
So one of the bouts that Chris Hoekstra was looking forward to when we looked at this card. And again, it's a bout we're looking forward to because of the contrasts in this matchmaking, the thought that's gone into the matchmaking here.
And Jack TYLEY said, I went and worked on my striking an awful lot, but make no mistake about it, the secret is the jiu-jitsu. He's a purple belt in 10th Planet, and he's already going to the rubber guard. Mission control. He's going to try to clear that neck right away, it looks to me. He can take a couple of different short steps here. Now he's swapped to the meat hook. He's got a very, very crafty guard. This is the trimmest I've ever seen Jack as well. He came in well under the welterweight limit at 168 pounds. Smart decision making. Now he's gone to mission control on the other side because he sensed that he can isolate the arm more easily. I like it. This just shows the leg dexterity and the flexibility of his game. Now he swapped to the meat hook again. He may look for a triangle setup. And the way to kill this, ELSEY's being real smart. He's staying very deep in the guard, shutting down the hips, shuffling forward. Just a great chess match already. This is exactly what the fanboy in me wanted to see.
And as you said with this chess match, we talked about earlier about experience, and what were we saying? That ELSEY said, the thing I'm really looking at working on is my composure in here, and what better way to start that than to be under pressure from the moment the bell rings, as it were.
And he's a top-ranked amateur welterweight here in the UK. He's a guy who's got a lot of experience. And more importantly, IMAF experience. Omoplata attempt here from TYLEY. It's not quite deep enough, but he may be able to get the sweep, and that's one of the technical things that they teach in 10th Planet. It's about using that omoplata as a low percentage technique to get that sweep, and he did so successfully. Watch for the leg lock game here, though.
And Chris, that last 10 seconds, the transitioning from both men, the movement, as you said, that experience coming into play, the movement from both men was superb. And yet even from that position, TYLEY had the idea to throw that short little left to the face of ELSEY, even when they're in this position. Superb work from both men.
And the flexibility again here, he's got that mission control locked up. Wrist to ankle on the right, and then keeping that elbow super tight. You're gonna chuck the legs up here. And again, try to throw up a submission. But this is the problem, when you play that guard, you've got to make sure you move a little bit more methodically. And the penalty of that can be the pass, and that's exactly here what his opponent has been able to do. ELSEY was patient. He stayed real heavy and kept good forward pressure. He's gonna try to shut down those legs, but TYLEY recovers. Beautiful.
Yes, as you quite rightly said, TYLEY started out in jiu-jitsu, and it's really keeping him in good stead here on this ground game, because he is so... We talk about being active from your back, but this is what we're saying when you look at TYLEY here, isn't it?
Yeah, he's crazy good. It looked to me like he was going to try to use crackhead control. There's so many different weird names, and if you haven't checked them out, you'll just have to start Google imaging the 10th Planet System or get the book. But in my mind, this was just such a technical battle because ELSEY had the answers. TYLEY threw up some kind of odd techniques, things you don't necessarily see in other gyms, and ELSEY has done a good job of nullifying them at this point.
Well, as you said, John Maguire there, veteran in his corner. And one thing I like about, you know, you read profiles, you talk to fighters, and sometimes it ends up being totally different when they get into the cage. But he really lived up to his pre-fight promise there with the composure, because he was under pressure from the moment that cage door shut.
Yeah, that's right. And it was really cool to see Maguire given those instructions. He's no slouch in the no-gi grappling and MMA submission fighting department either. John Maguire is a really good guy. And he's a guy that's shown kind of evolution in his skills on the mat throughout his whole career. In fact, we saw him here in Rise of Champions hit a beautiful leg lock. So he's got all the know-how. And again, we're kind of seeing not only the fighters clash, but the minds of both coaches as well, which for me is just a real treat. What a great round. 2 of 3 coming up.
Yes, most of that round on the ground, but exciting. Both men mobile, active, the transitions and the thought going into it from so many angles. And potentially still 2 more to go.
Nice 2-punch combination from TYLEY, who actually pulls guard, up go the legs. He's gonna go straight to trying to clear that neck.
And that's when we talk about so many times, Chris, the idea of striking for MMA, and you saw that there with the punches. The punches, he knew he was going to pull guard if he got the opportunity straight away, didn't he?
Yeah, for sure. He got to New York. He got to that position where he was able to control the arm. Now he's swapping back to the meat hook, pummeling in for that bicep pummel. Here comes the triangle setup. This is a good opportunity here, as long as he can keep his grip in the correct manner and fashion, that he doesn't sacrifice the position. That's what kind of got him in trouble last time, is he started attacking really quickly. And some guys, when they attack off their back, they'll try to move a little bit more methodically and slowly. And some guys kind of, you know, try to go real quick. And the problem for TYLEY in MMA is he can't be too quick. Oh, he's got an option here, but again, once you get slippery, your best option is to regard or reset here, because otherwise he's going to give up the pass. He's got that figure 4. He had a Kimura trap on tap, but now he's giving his back. Inverts, rolls through. ELSEY's got to watch the leg lock. He's going to sit down on that leg and make sure he protects it. Wisely done. And then Jack will use that to regard. This is what I wanted to see him do. I didn't want to see him get into a position where, yeah, it's a great flashy submission attack, but when punches get mixed in, again, you got to be careful.
Well, Chris, for me, listening to you and watching, it's breathtaking, the movement, the transitions, the work from both men. And as you said, the added thing here now is we're right towards the end of round 2. They're slippery, they're sweating. It's much more difficult now. And again, ELSEY has retained that composure and made it very difficult for Jack TYLEY.
Open guard. Ooh, TYLEY looked back. I don't know if he got hit in the eye. I think he got punched to the eye. That was good shot selection from ELSEY. ELSEY's got to make sure he makes every single punch count. The most important thing here is not only staying a couple of steps ahead of TYLEY, but punishing him for his activity. You don't want to let a guy like that get anything for free. Good short punches here.
Yes, a nice turnaround from ELSEY here. And it's been difficult again for the judges. You like to think that, you know, TYLEY really has been forcing the pace, forcing the issue. But ELSEY has had his moments, and as you said, he capitalizes on them.
Look at that, though. TYLEY went for the hip bump sweep, couldn't get it, gave his back. Thought about rolling for the leg, and beautiful countering here. ELSEY's kind of studied the game. He's clearly very well prepared for this, and that for me was one of the keys to going into this one. He had to make sure he had answers, get TYLEY tired, let him work his little game and try to work his tricks, and then make him pay. Full mount here, not much time left. 10-second clapper.
Well, you mentioned the composure. As he looked to flatten TYLEY out, he was looking directly at his coach, John Maguire, and listening to what he was saying there. And it's a big, big finish from ELSEY. And as you said, that composure reaping dividends. And he capitalizes on every opportunity, doesn't he? He may not have the most opportunities as they come up, but when they do come up, he's ready and aware.
Yeah, that's just the experience for him. I mean, he's been, we mentioned in the walkout, to the IMF tournaments, not only the Europeans in 2016, 2017, but the Worlds in 2017. So in my opinion, I think that that's one of the big things that you get from fighting in tournaments like that is you kind of get comfortable with being under that pressure, and you get comfortable with having to make every single moment count, especially when you're fighting multiple times in a week like that. So for me, ELSEY is showing his maturity, but the question is he going to be able to get that fight-ending opportunity that he's clearly looking for?
Well, the thing that I like about this is, despite all that, and I agree with all of it, TYLEY, as you said, is so active in constantly looking for those submissions still. As you said, you mentioned about the different paces that you look for. He's still going full throttle as well.
That's right. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this one scored, because TYLEY's making a very sound case, especially having pulled guard a couple of times, for being effective off his back. Sam Amidi in charge. Chris Hoekstra alongside Malcolm Martin. Great to have you folks with us here at Rise of Champions. Here in London, it's the third round. TYLEY's looking a little bit tired. ELSEY's going to try to turn it up. ELSEY in the blue, TYLEY in the red. TYLEY concedes the takedown, and I think we'll see no surprises here.
No, it was good work, as you said, to start the round from ELSEY, and TYLEY reverted to type when the punches came in, and there was a big kick to the midsection of TYLEY as well, and ELSEY did really well there, Chris.
Yeah. TYLEY's now in chill dog here. He's got a couple of different ways to hold on to this, but he's cleared the neck, and that's the key thing. That's one of the main objectives in the rubber guard, is you want to be able to clear the neck and isolate one side. Now the question is, will he try to go back to the omoplata that we saw previously, or will he go another direction? He's got a couple of different options here. I don't see the gogoplata working very well. And again, ELSEY now really slippery, able to clear that arm. He waited until the right moment to jerk it out. It's a risky move, but oh, that was a good kick. I think it was legal as well.
I was just picking up what you were saying there, Chris. About to say the same, the timing from ELSEY. It's that awareness we spoke of. ELSEY's timing tonight has been superb. And when we mentioned when you don't get many options or you don't get many chances, it's exploiting them when you do. And boy, does this man do that.
Yeah. He's making TYLEY tired. He's making him work. He's avoided the scares. And he's had the technical know-how as well, which for me is just awesome to see, especially in MMA. It's a smart performance from ELSEY.
And I agree with you. I feel that TYLEY is feeling this third round. I really feel that he's tiring. It's been a hard 2 rounds of looking for submissions. And ELSEY is really putting on the pressure now here in the third.
Yeah, it's not like ELSEY doesn't know what's up at this point. It's pretty obvious what TYLEY wants to do. I'm surprised we haven't seen him try to get a hold of a choke. He's got a great head and arm choke game. I mean, he could have worked to try to sweep, I guess, which he did a couple of times, but now he's back down on the mat. And ELSEY really trying to control those hips as he'll work his way forward here.
The clock ticking on what's been an intriguing third round and could be vital still to the scoring of this bout. This isn't a cut and dried bout by any stretch of the imagination, Chris.
John Maguire just making sure that ELSEY stays as sedimented as possible. Just get heavy, flatten him out, sink in, make him feel your weight, get him tired. Sometimes you got to work at a snail's pace in grappling, because that's that pressure game that when you've got a very attacking jiu-jitsu and opportunistic game like TYLEY, you have difficulty countering. And for me, that's been important here for ELSEY. Good punches here from ELSEY.
Big finish to the back. Will it make a difference to the overall outcome? Because for me, ELSEY was strong in that third round.
Yeah, that was a great third round for ELSEY. I think he's convincingly taken that one. It'll be intriguing to see how the judges scored the first two. Maybe TYLEY doing enough in one of those to at least take it with all the attacking off his back. But again, it's important if you can take a guy down. There was a number of times when TYLEY actually pulled guard, but he didn't necessarily do anything with the top control. Although ELSEY was able to avoid a lot of those attacks, say in the first, you could make a case for TYLEY taking one of those rounds. We'll go to the judges' scorecards and get the official decision from Buddy Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout goes the distance, 3 rounds, and we go to your judges' decision. And they scored about 29-28, 29-28, and 30-27, declaring your winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, Alex ELSEY.
John, great to see you.